In the vast and often perilous world of Norse mythology, the sea is not merely a backdrop for Viking voyages. It is a living, powerful force with moods that can shift from calm to catastrophic in moments. Among the deities who embody the ocean's many aspects, none is as mysterious and foreboding as Ran, the Norse goddess of the sea's dark and dangerous side. Unlike Njord, who governs favorable winds and prosperous fishing, or Ægir, who represents the sea's bounty and hospitality, Ran is the keeper of the ocean's hidden perils. She is a goddess both feared and revered, the embodiment of the deep's inescapable pull and the inevitable fate of those who challenge the waters unprepared. Ran's name translates to robbery or theft in Old Norse, a fitting reflection of her role as the one who seizes sailors and drags them into her watery realm. She dwells beneath the waves in a grand hall with her husband Ægir, the Jotun-like god of the sea. While Ægir is often depicted as a gracious host to the gods, serving endless ale in golden cups, Ran's reputation is darker. She is known for casting her great net into the sea, ensnaring ships and dragging them down into the depths, where the souls of drowned sailors remain as her captives. This duality between Ægir's generous side and Ran's deadly embrace mirrors the Norse understanding of the sea itself, both a giver of life and a taker of it. In the harsh maritime culture of the Viking Age, where seafaring was essential for trade, exploration, and warfare, the sea was both an ally and a constant threat. Ran personified that threat, a reminder that the ocean could turn against even the most skilled sailor without warning. Ran's 9 daughters, known as the 9 waves, are themselves personifications of the waves and are sometimes linked to the mothers of Heimdall, the watchman of the gods. These daughters embody the ever-changing motion of the sea, from gentle swells to towering breakers. In some interpretations, they also symbolize the many ways the sea can claim a life, whether through sudden storms, hidden reefs, or the slow, relentless pull of the tide. In surviving Norse poems and sagas, Ran is invoked in both fear and respect. Sailors prayed to her for safe passage, but they also sought her mercy if they believed they might perish at sea. Offerings of gold were sometimes thrown into the water, as Ran was said to have a particular fondness for the precious metal. In myth, this preference for gold is reflected in tales where she uses it to welcome drowned sailors into her hall, adorning her undersea domain with their treasures. Ran's role in Norse mythology can be seen as part of the wider tapestry of female deities who govern aspects of fate and death. Much like the Norns, who weave the destinies of gods and men, Ran holds the power to determine when a sailor's life will end. Her net is not unlike the Norns' threads. It is a tool of inevitability, an instrument through which destiny is carried out. Once caught, there is no escape, much as there is no avoiding one's fate in Norse belief. In art and literature, Ran is sometimes portrayed as a beautiful yet cold and distant figure, her beauty masking the deadly nature of her embrace. This archetype of the alluring but dangerous sea woman is not unique to Norse myth. It appears in various forms across world folklore, from the sirens of Greek mythology to the rusalki of Slavic tradition. Yet Ran's power lies not in luring sailors through seduction, but in the raw, untamable nature of the ocean itself. Her mythology also serves a cultural purpose. In a society where maritime travel was both a necessity and a gamble, Ran's presence in the Norse pantheon acknowledged the inherent risks of seafaring. She was not a villain to be defeated, but a force to be respected, part of the natural order, just as storms, frost, and fire were. The Vikings knew that honoring her and acknowledging her might was as important as navigating by the stars or building sturdy ships. Interestingly, Ran's influence extended beyond myth into the language of the sea. Phrases invoking her name were used by sailors to describe storms or the act of drowning. Poets of the skaldic tradition often employed kennings, metaphorical phrases, linking Ran to the sea, such as calling it the road to Ran when speaking of a voyage that might end in shipwreck. Today, Ran continues to capture the imagination of historians, artists, and neo-pagans who look to Norse mythology for inspiration. She is a figure who reminds us of the dual nature of the sea, its beauty and its danger, its generosity and its cruelty. In a modern context, she can be seen as a symbol of respect for nature's power, a warning against arrogance, and an acknowledgement of the forces that remain beyond human control. While the Norse gods often reflect human traits, ambition, loyalty, cunning, Ran stands apart as a pure embodiment of the sea's inhuman majesty. She does not scheme or seek glory. She simply exists, patient and inevitable, waiting beneath the waves. Whether feared as a taker of life or respected as a necessary balance to Ægir's benevolence, Ran remains one of the most enigmatic and enduring figures of Norse mythology. Her net is always cast, her realm always ready to welcome those claimed by the sea, and her legend a lasting reminder of the ocean's untamed soul.